My story in retail didn't start in a fancy boardroom. It didn't begin with a grand business plan. It started on the ground floor, quite literally. Today is June 16th, 2025, and looking back 35 years takes me to 1990. I was young, hungry, and ready to work. I saw an opportunity not just to earn a paycheck, but to learn a business from the inside out. Retail was calling me. It was a world of products, people, and process. I knew right then that if I wanted to succeed, I had to understand every single piece of it. My journey began with a simple decision: to show up, to listen, and to outwork everyone around me. That was my only strategy. The late 1980s and early 90s were a different era in American retail. It was tangible. It was physical. You could feel the energy in the stores. My first job wasn't glamorous. It involved early mornings and late nights. It involved lifting heavy boxes and getting my hands dirty. Some people might see that as grunt work, but I saw it as my education. I was getting paid to learn the fundamentals of an entire industry. Every box I unloaded, every item I tagged was a lesson in the flow of commerce. It was my university, and the stockroom was my first classroom. I embraced the grind because I knew it was the foundation for everything that would come next. I remember the distinct smell of cardboard and the sound of a box cutter slicing through packing tape. These were the sensory details of my new world. Unloading trucks in the pre-dawn hours taught me about logistics and the importance of an efficient supply chain, long before that was a popular buzzword. We didn't have sophisticated software to tell us what was coming. We had a clipboard and a bill of lading. It was about accountability. You had to check every item, count every unit, and make sure what you received matched what you were promised. This wasn't just about moving merchandise, it was about protecting the business's assets from the very first touch point. This initial phase was all about process. People, product, and process. It's a mantra I live by today, and it was forged in those early days. I learned that every step, no matter how small, mattered. A neatly organized stockroom meant quicker replenishment on the sales floor. Accurate receiving meant correct inventory counts. It was a chain of events, and a weakness in any single link could disrupt the entire operation. I made it my business to understand not just my role, but how my role connected to everyone else's. I was building a mental blueprint of how a successful retail operation truly works, from the delivery dock to the customer's shopping bag. Once I had a handle on the back room, it was time to move to the front of the house. This is where the business really comes alive. My education continued with the tools of the trade. I learned how to use a price gun, clicking away as I tagged each piece of merchandise with its identity and its value. This was before scannable barcodes were on everything. We had to be meticulous. A wrong price tag could mean lost revenue or an unhappy customer. Then came the introduction of UPCs, a major shift that started to automate the process. I saw firsthand how technology could create efficiency, and I was eager to master it. The cash register, or the point-of-sale system, was the heart of the store. Running a register is about more than just taking money. It's about accuracy, speed, and integrity. It's also the final interaction a customer has with your business, a critical moment. I learned to handle cash, process credit cards, and balance the drawer at the end of my shift. At the same time, we were still managing inventory by hand. We used logbooks and manual counts. It was tedious, but it taught me the importance of precision. Every item sold had to be recorded to understand what was moving and what wasn't. This was the raw data that drove our business decisions. The most important part of the job, however, was the people. Helping customers was where I found my true passion. It's not just about pointing someone to the right aisle. It's about listening to their needs, solving their problems, and making them feel valued. A positive interaction can turn a one-time shopper into a loyal customer for life. On the flip side, I also learned about the difficult reality of loss prevention. You had to be observant and aware, protecting the store's inventory from theft. It taught me to pay attention to detail and to understand human behavior, both good and bad. It was a constant lesson in vigilance and customer service. Merchandising was another critical skill. It's the art of making products look desirable. It's about creating a visual story that encourages people to buy. I learned how to build displays, how to organize shelves, and how to create a flow that guides customers through the store. A well-merchandised store is easy to shop and feels exciting. It's a silent salesperson. All these experiences, from tagging to talking to customers to tackling theft, were interconnected. They were the essential building blocks, the fundamental skills that gave me a 360-degree view of the retail world. I wasn't just an employee, I was a student of the game. After years of mastering the mechanics of a single store, I was ready for the next challenge. My focus shifted from running a store to building new ones. This was my entry into the world of business development. The goal was no longer just about daily sales, but about long-term growth and strategic expansion. It was about taking a successful concept and replicating it in new markets. This required a completely different skill set. It was less about the physical execution on the floor and more about the strategic planning that happens months or even years before a door ever opens to the public. The process of opening a new store is a fascinating mix of art and science. The science part came first. We relied heavily on demographic studies. We needed to know everything about a potential location, population density, average income, age distribution, and consumer spending habits. Was this the right neighborhood for our brand? Was there a customer base that needed what we were selling? We conducted detailed feasibility analyses to project potential sales, calculate operational costs, and determine profitability. This was about making decisions based on data, not just gut feelings. The numbers had to work. But data alone doesn't build a successful store. That's where the art comes in. It's about understanding the community's personality and finding the perfect physical location. This meant collaborating with some of the best minds in the business. I had the incredible opportunity to work alongside major commercial real estate and property consulting firms like Cushman and Wakefield, JLL, and CBRE. These guys were the experts. They knew the markets inside and out. They helped us identify prime locations, negotiate leases, and understand the competitive landscape. Their insights were invaluable. Working with these partners taught me the power of collaboration. You can't be an expert in everything. Success in business development comes from assembling the right team. We would pore over maps, traffic counts, and zoning regulations. We would walk potential sites trying to feel the energy of the area. Is there good visibility? Is there enough parking? What are the neighboring businesses? Every detail mattered. It was a high-stakes process of investigation and negotiation, all leading to that incredible moment when you finally sign a lease and know you're about to bring a new business to life. My journey gave me the privilege of working with some of the most iconic names in American retail. These weren't just jobs. They were immersive learning experiences with companies that had defined the industry for generations. I spent time with retail giants like Macy's and its legendary sister stores, including Abraham and Straus, Stearns, and the incomparable Bloomingdale's. Each brand had its own unique identity, its own culture, and its own way of connecting with customers. Working within these established systems taught me about operating at scale, about brand consistency, and about the logistics required to run a massive retail empire. At places like Bed Bath & Beyond, I saw the power of the category killer model. They dominated their niche by offering an incredible depth of selection. It was a master class in inventory management and merchandising on a grand scale. The challenge was making a giant warehouse-style store feel inviting and easy to navigate for the customer. It was about creating a treasure hunt experience where shoppers could always discover something new. This experience reinforced the importance of product in my people, product process framework. Having the right product and lots of it was a powerful competitive advantage. Then there was my time at ABC Carpet and Home, which was a completely different world. It was more than a store, it was a destination. It was about curation, craftsmanship, and creating an immersive, almost magical environment. ABC taught me that retail could be a form of theater. It was about selling a lifestyle, not just a product. The attention to detail in their visual merchandising was second to none. They weren't afraid to be bold and different. This experience opened my eyes to the importance of brand storytelling and creating an emotional connection with the customer that goes far beyond the transaction itself. Each of these companies left an indelible mark on me. From the operational excellence of Macy's to the category dominance of Bed Bath & Beyond and the artistic vision of ABC Carpet and Home, I absorbed lessons from each one. I learned that there isn't one single formula for success in retail. Different models can thrive. The key is to have a clear vision, to understand your customer intimately, and to execute your process flawlessly. These experiences provided me with a rich and diverse playbook of strategies that I would carry with me throughout my career, shaping my own approach to business. Every journey has its twists and turns. After 35 years of climbing the ladder in American retail, from the stockroom floor to the strategic heights of business development, my path took an unexpected yet exciting turn. My life's journey led me to move to India. This wasn't an end to my career, but rather a pause and a pivot. It was a chance to step back, to reflect on 3.5 decades of experience, and to see the world of commerce from a completely new perspective. It marked the conclusion of one long and rewarding chapter and the beginning of another one filled with unknown possibilities. Leaving the familiar rhythm of the U.S. retail market was a significant change. I had spent my entire professional life immersed in its culture, its challenges, and its opportunities. But I believe that growth happens when you step outside your comfort zone. This move was exactly that. It was an opportunity to learn about a new culture, a new economy, and a new way of life. The principles of business, people, product, process are universal, but how they are applied can vary dramatically from one place to another. I was eager to become a student once again, to observe and to learn. For anyone looking to build a career in retail, I hope my story serves as a source of motivation. It shows that you don't need a fancy degree or a special connection to get started. You need a willingness to work hard, a desire to learn every facet of the business, and a genuine passion for serving people. Start on the ground floor, unload the trucks, learn the register, talk to the customers, understand the numbers. Every single task is a lesson. Every role is a stepping stone. Your career is a ladder, and you build it one rung at a time through dedication and a commitment to excellence. My retail journey in the United States may be on pause for now, but the lessons and the passion remain. This move to India isn't a retirement, it's a recalibration. It's a new chapter waiting to be written, with new challenges to tackle and new opportunities to explore. The world is a big place, and the world of business is even bigger. My story is proof that if you focus on the fundamentals and never stop learning, your path can take you to incredible places. The next chapter is just beginning, and I'm excited to see what it holds. The principles are the same, only the landscape has changed.